I used to lose 7 out of 10 agency deals. Same discovery process, same proposals, different result. Ghosted. Then I changed one thing in how I pitched, and my close rate went from 30% to 80%. That's going from 3 deals per 10 calls to 8 deals per 10 calls. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact prototyping system that made the difference, including a live build for a dental clinic, because I was tired of losing $40,000 deals to agencies who couldn't code their way out of a paper bag, but somehow made prospects feel transformation before signing. I'll walk you through two real examples, a 30K MedSpa application, a $87,000 consulting platform, and show you how we build these for under $5. Because if you are still sending PDFs while your competitors are sending working apps, you already lost. Let's discuss how these prototypes have been completely transforming the way we run our discovery calls and send proposals. This system, even though I break down two examples fairly recently, as recent as past 3 weeks, I want to show this is not new. We knew this process from almost 6 months ago. One of my consulting clients had made this in March 2025. That's more than 6 months ago. And he closed a $50,000 deal with just 30,000 for phase one. And
show you. So this is something that I've been utilizing vibe coding for, is building sort of micro demos for the clients to show them like, hey, this is what it could potentially do. Or here's one functionality that you asked for. I coded it so you can kind of see what it would look like so they can hold it in their hand. Because software is so ephemeral. And
that's perfect.
You have this theory. So I did this. I built this, Manny, literally in 1 hour on my cell phone at a restaurant eating a steak. I literally built this vibe coded app. So
get this, 1 hour on his cell phone at a restaurant when he's having steak, and that closed a $50,000 deal. That is the power we're talking about. And this is not just working for me. It is, Brian, one of my premium clients, consulting clients, has secured 65,000 plus project, which on post engagement, he is selling them a SaaS product of $100,000. Everything, this is what we are dealing with. I will show you examples of how we are able to close all of these deals. And this exact tutorial, we will be talking about how you can develop your own prototypes in an hour or two to send these prospects and win those deals. And without further ado, let's get started. This is what we are doing. We have a discovery and sales call framework. If you want access to this, I am doing a webinar on November 9th. You can join my school group to know more. But I'll be breaking this down in detail, the discovery call framework, in that webinar, but I will give you a quick taste of what it is. One of the biggest bottlenecks in the space is client acquisition and conversion. So we essentially started building systems around. We reverse engineered hundreds of consulting calls that we had over the past couple of years and made SOPs of what went wrong and what went right, what made these deals happen. 30% close rate is not bad at all, but that's how it was. 7 deals failing, but the ones that succeeded has some component of, sending a video proposal or showing them an NA10 or a make workflow to make them visualize. Because, like Ed said, software they don't know what they would get, right? Unless you show them step by step, this is what it has. So what do you know? You don't know. You're not the expert in the industry, right? You won't understand what they're going through. How do you even begin to understand or what to build, essentially? So that is where this AI agency discovery call and solution generator prompt came about? You will need prospects LinkedIn URL, prospects company and website, and your agency's core offerings. And taking these three into input, and we will run this prompt, we will get pre-call intelligence report, and we will get initial hypotheses, what the problem is, evidence, and potential AI solution. Same thing, problem, evidence, potential AI solution. And you will get, this is key, this is gold in my opinion, discovery call framework. You will get a set of 6 or 7 questions that you should be asking based on what the biggest pain points of the given vertical is. And this is, I won't go into detail. It will be different for different, any vertical that you pick, it will be different. And you will get some of the, what would some of the objections that you would get, response strategy, and red flags to watch for, and everything that you would need to make this a success. And it won't give too many questions too. The goal is not to overwhelm you, but to give you confidence, to give you the ammo that you need to finish this call with confidence. Go in there, be an expert, help them to the best of your abilities to show how AI can help them basically. When we did the same thing, this is AI solutions for MedSpa business. This is the questions that I should ask them, is a list of questions. How many leads per month are you generating from all sources? What is your current show up rate for consultation? Average customer lifetime value? How many clients do you have in your database? And then I have some, how many clients do you have? What is the timeline? And then I take all of these questions and I jump on these calls. And here's where the magic happens. When I'm going through this call, I will ask them those questions. If you see, what are some of the sales questions that Mani asked? Mani, Mohan, how many leads per month are you generating from all sources right now? What is your show up rate? Like if 10 people book an appointment, how many of them show up? And if you look here, current show up rate and how many leads per month, all sources, everything. I didn't do anything different from what AI has given me. And then you might be wondering, okay, why is only 3 questions? Some of the questions, for example, how many clients do you have in your database? I asked the lifetime question, but how many clients do they have? They already gave me that info. So it doesn't make sense to ask the same question again, right? If these questions naturally flew into your conversation and you already asked them, you don't have to follow a script and sound robotic. But if they haven't answered those questions, you explicitly ask those questions and find the answer. And once I find the answer, I will come here and use the meeting transcript that, eventually added here. As you can see, once I have all of that, it gave me what are some of the options that what are some of the solutions that I can build them. And that's how this raw idea, this initial call, using the discovery call framework, we prepare a set of questions and we use those questions and prepare a set of prompts, the answers to those questions. I mean, once you understand what a business is struggling with, it doesn't take more than an hour or two to spin up a simple prototype. For example, this is a full blown, it looks like a CRM, but it is not. Everything that we discussed, they had issues with lead consolidations, lead at various different platforms that they don't know how warm they are. We said we could implement AI scoring. And if they want to send messages on these platforms, you can use AI generated messages based on what they've shown interested to. Let's say they reacted with Botox related content. They commented on a post that's related to fillers. You target them with this content and we flag them, create communication, dynamic messages, dynamic voice and text and emails. All the communication can be around that topic. And the same way we showed them that we can add a calendar and then consolidate messages from different platforms of Meta. and analytics, how each platform is generating them leads and what is the potential revenue in the pipeline from those platforms so they can double down. So, what are some of the promotions they can run? Database reactivation. Every 3 months or 2 months, we can have their staff set a timer on, okay, next follow up in 2 months. And 2 months, we call them, hey, John, you were here for Botox last time, and your next Botox refresh is due in a week. Do you want me to schedule an appointment? Great. That's $600, right? So imagine doing that 100 times, 200 times over a week, over a month. This is a lot of money and they can see that. But if you just say the words and show better than tell, right? Just imagine this. You are buying a sports car or any car for that matter. Do you buy just based off of what you found in brochure? No, obviously not. You want to see, you want to do the test drive and everything, right? Only then you would pay and buy. And this is the same thing. This is almost like giving a ride, a test ride of their future platform. And we have these dormant leads, 3 month leads, 6 month leads. And I also showed them we can build a beauty consultant. Let's say I actually added with Gemini, you can now do actual AI features in like just like that. How to get my first Botox. And you can actually show them this is a AI featured one. Just imagine you are seeing a chatbot right now, but in reality, it would be an avatar of one of your nurses speaking. You know how easy it is for them to imagine that. Because they see a chat, it's easy for them to visualize an avatar, right? And the same way, we have some lead scoring capabilities. I don't want to go into the detail, sentiment analysis, template generators for um, different campaigns, like based on different occasions, and any automations that we can build for lead nurture or post consultation follow up and appointment reminders. And what we do is we just, because it is, you put a lot of thought and effort into this, right? I mean, although you did only 2 hours of work, they would think it would have taken you days to build the whole thing. Anyway, that's a different story. You need to explain what each of these actually mean. I made this 10 days ago. It's that recent, really. And we need to go through every step of the way. I'll share this for inspiration, but I went through every single component and explained what the value is and everything. And that is how you close deals, apparently. I'm not saying proposals, PDF proposals or emails are not, or video proposals are not helpful. But when you combine this, we are seeing amazing results. And then we send this email with the walkthrough and the demo application and what we built based on discussion. Everything that I showed in the video, lead management and scoring, 20 to 30% show up rate problem. This is biggest issue they're facing right now because on average their client spends about $10,000 to $100,000 every single year. That is, imagine one person converting will pay for the whole system, and we have so much room there. And database reactivation, automation systems, beauty AI assistant, and this blew my mind because what this lead to is not only them buying for this company, they had another mental health clinic. We are discussing what solutions we can build for that. And another person actually reached out within the same thread, discuss a separate matter with you. Are you available for a quick call today? And then I got to sync up with them, and I am refraining from using any personal names, but here The consultant was previously working with the client on a MedSpa business. The client was impressed with the consultant's expertise and capabilities and connected with him on another company that was looking for help. They wanted to leverage this automation skills to quickly build some prototypes and demos for an upcoming event, one of their major clients. This is a Fortune 500 client, by the way. And they are covering all the expenses, all the accommodation, flight, and everything for them, for me to attend the workshop and, build these prototypes and everything. So just one solution opened up all of this, one simple prototype that we did in a few days. And in reality, it only took us 2 hours or so, a little over 2 hours, and like not even 10, 15 messages on Lovable, which is less than $5, really. So it really blows my mind today what we can do. And this is not just one. We have another consulting application that we have built. Same issue. This is actually came from an audit, few $1,000 audit that we did over 4 hours. Get this, 4 hours. One of our partners actually sat through 4 hours with a business owner and mapped out 10 different departments 10 different departments and made the pain points for everything, and who is the task and who is the owner. Because if you're just replacing the time of a regular admin, that may not be valuable, but a manager's time is almost 4 times, 5 times as expensive as an admin person's time. Everyone knows that. So if you are building solutions, you would obviously prioritize there. But he got to work and he went on, crazy these departments, which a number of team members, total team members have 28. They are cross functional across different countries. They are global, and every pain point, every task was actually listed here that they are facing. So what we did is we used these files and we analyzed using multiple different uh, AIs, and each AI kind of thought of a different solution, different price points that we should charge this for. And in reality, if we actually sit down, use Perplexity Labs with our own proprietary knowledge of working with previous clients, how much we charged, how much value we brought, and everything, when we combine these two, this is the value that we got. $87,000 investment will bring them 285% year one ROI. So that is minimal projection. And we really don't go on the upper end of, in reality, it would be close to 600 or 700%. But we adjust that so much. So it would only give us like on the lower end or, less than medium kind of results to, under promise and over deliver kind of thing. So by the way, this is case study 2. If you are interested in, okay, Mani, I'm sold, I want to learn this prototype, you can always go to find the timestamp, go to the start of the tutorial. But now I just want to show you how powerful this is, not just for our business, but for our client's business as well. So this is actually a partner, a one-on-one client that we are a fulfillment partner on. So what we do is we charge them, they are a boardroom member, and we charge a percentage of a deal. We give them, okay, this is my price. I want to charge you 30K because that will cost my dev, that will cover my dev costs. And they can go out and actually sell it for $87,000. Even though it's only making me 30,000, it can potentially make you up to 90,000 and more if you find the right person, because these are a 28% team losing 5 to 7 FTEs worth of productivity. 87K is actually cheap. And it gave me a list of solutions that blew my mind. 20, close to 20. I asked for a proposal naively. I know it can't be done for the proposal actually came back with 18 pages. Imagine that, 18 pages. Who would have time for 18 pages? And if you don't believe me, I will actually show you. I will see what we have here is operational automation. And if we look at Pathfinder Consulting, complete buildable solution based on your 4+ hour discovery. Here's everything organized by impact. 1. Social media lead capturing engine. 2. Voice qualification agent. I won't be reading everything, but if I just scroll through and look at the number at the end, it is not ending. It's 22, 23, 25, 27, 29, 32. After 32, it's not done. It's saying other tools, expandable cards. I can say these additional 10 or something. So we have about 40 solutions. If you just include 2 solutions per page, an explanation, 18 pages is not much. I had it somewhere, but I deleted it, I believe. But then I created a prompt out of it that I can use in Lovable. Give me a first 6 features, not just a simple dashboard, but one looks like a CRM application. We will call this Pathfinder CRM. And it gave me a prompt. And then I take that prompt and I go to Lovable and I created this. And this is the Pathfinder application and every pain point that they are looking for. A complete dashboard, recent activity, human activity, AI activity, team activity, client activity, and what are today's priorities and quick actions that they can generate proposals, because this is a big deal apparently. Email draft, SMS draft, WhatsApp draft. And if you want to generate a proposal, we can actually select a package, select a service template, and select add-on services. And that will, based on what you selected, it will actually raise the price. And once it's done, you can even integrate it with DocuSign or PandaDoc. You can preview, you can save draft, send it to client, whatever you want, everything from one centralized place. And this is not just all leads. We consolidated, we help them visualize the consolidation of all the leads coming in from various platforms and active clients. They don't have a CRM platform. They were using Zoho, but it was not user friendly in their words. So we actually built them a custom, showed them how we can build a custom client portal and CRM platform to integrate their payments so they can track who paid the installments, how to nurture them so they won't miss any payments, download invoices, build voice assistants that are capable of doing different things, virtual receptionists, career counselors, coaching, accountability coaches, bunch of voice assistants that we can build. A voice agent, like you've seen earlier, like a beauty advisor, but here an educational consultant, pipeline for their CRM, automations that we can build, email sequences, follow-up automations, text, SMS, email. I don't want to go into all of this because I will link this down below so you can try it on your own. It is incredibly detailed. I just cannot sell this enough. If I get this excited looking at this, not because I built the whole thing, that's a different story, but imagine what our clients would feel, because everything that they envision, that they are struggling with, we are providing a solution for that on a silver platter. Do you know what their response was? Where do I sign? How soon we can build this? How do we get started? So now we are not saying every deal would be like that. Some deals will take actually a really long sales cycle. But if you find the right client and you do a really good job of implementing this, because they had a remote team, right? And we showed that, based on their challenge, some of them don't know what other team is working on and who is active during what time, because the remote team wants to be active in a Canadian time. But some people don't. They want to work on their own time. So we showed them we can actually make, based on everyone's time zone, everyone can see who is active when, so can you know, have a bunch of collaboration tools. So this will actually get their creative wheels rolling. This is basically to show them something can be done to fix their issue. And this is the second um, solution that we have actually built using this vibe coding solution. And we are at a point right now, we are seeing at least 80%. I say 80%, but really, last everyone that we sent proposal to said yes, which even resulted in more business than we expected, referrals, or you know, finding out that they have another business that we can work on. It was nothing but positive reaction so far. And I didn't want to say, come out and say 100% close rate because it's such a low sample size. We just wanted to test it even more. And basically, all the calls that we sent these prototypes to, about six, everyone closed or so close to being done. Two of them are actually, it's a longer sales cycle. We are just waiting. There are NDAs in place where I cannot show the whole thing. Whatever the case may be, I believe I have given you enough confidence in this prototype building. Without further ado, let's see how you can build one. Okay, I'm sold money, but how do I actually build this in practice? So you need to keep three things in mind. First one, you have to run this discovery call framework to really understand what you should be asking them, what you can build them. Am I saying this is the only thing you should focus on, nothing else? No, of course not. But when I started, first few months have been extremely crazy. I would feel uh, very timid and intimidated to jump on these discovery calls. There were instances, you won't believe me, I would hope, or inside, maybe if this client doesn't show up, I would be okay. You know, how sad that is. But from that point, after having tens, hundreds of these discovery calls, what I figured out was it is one of the easiest and most exciting things I actually look forward to these days, because I come with a frame of mind. I know what I can do for this person. I know what AI can make a difference in his business. So I go in with a plan. And no matter what industry they're in, I know I can always count on this because it is that easy. And if for some any reason they do not resonate with any of the three issues that come up, because we are essentially asking them to come up with three problems and a set of questions. So if they say what your hypothesis is, I don't resonate with any one of them. Whatever you are saying the problems are not my problems. Great. You have something to talk about now. Okay, what are your problems? We jumped on this call for a reason, to see how AI can help you. But based on my extensive research, this is what I found. Because it is extensive. You are only using deep research 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on your model, but you're going through hundreds of sources to get this info. That is extensive research. And then they would say, okay, we figured this out, but this is more important for congratulations, you had a jackpot, because that is something. Maybe if entire industry is saying something else is a problem and this guy managed to figure the whole thing, you can learn that process, build your knowledge base, and you figured out a new issue the top 1% even, you know, not trying to fix. So I get excited whenever I get these discovery calls now. And whenever you record these discovery calls, so for example, this is like a 53-minute call. And they are a dental clinic, and I want to build something live to show you how this works. So I will blur most of this, but they are a dental business, and they're interested in developing AI powered staffing platform to compete with cloud dentistry, which is it's a $60 a month subscription or something, but they always wanted to build a SaaS solution. And then he talks about what are some of the current business challenges: declining new patient numbers, revenue leaking and high overhead costs, ineffective Facebook ad campaigns, and difficulty getting Google reviews from patients, staffing issues, and high costs with current solutions. So, what I would do is after you get on this call, after you finish this call, you copy the transcript. You copy the entire transcript. I'm using Fathom, but you can use whatever note taker, AI note taker you want to use. And I go to Claude because this is my favorite, and I will ask it one simple question. And we can use natural language 100%. There is no issue at all. I believe AI today, it doesn't have to be super structured. If it is, great. If not, that is okay too. I will just explain. I am planning to build a prototype for this client, Andrew, for his dental practice. Based on the transcript, what are some of the solutions I can build? And what is your assessment of this discovery call? So, I am not planning to cover the exact prompt framework and everything, what happens in this discovery call, and what you need to be sending an actual proposal and everything. I'm saving it for the webinar. But I will tell you, however, we have been following that for the past few months, and we have been seeing amazing results both for us and for our partners. Now, the assessment came back. It says discovery call assessment and the explanatory call with Andrew, a dental practice in San Antonio, Texas, is 2 years old, 50 to 70 patients per week, but experiencing declining patient numbers. Key problem identified: high priority clinical documentation. Currently manually using ChatGPT to dictate notes. Wants a voice to text with template integration. And after hours call handling. And medium priority, low priority, not a good fit. And interested in building a cheaper alternative. Part of tight knit dental community assessment. This is a full SaaS product, not a prototype. Interesting opportunity, but separate discussion. So the key here is now you are 100% responsible to pick what you want to build. And I always want to go by what AI suggested because it never failed me before. But if your gut says something different, I would start there. And building a complete SaaS, we have a different method for it, right? And for that method, I want to show you in a different video, which would be a longer video, systems video. We have a knowledge fortress. We build multiple layers of context and then build the whole system. Don't worry about terminology. It's a fancy way of saying building your context, documentation, and developing prompts, using those prompts to build complex, sophisticated system, full blown SaaS, and everything. So, what is the call assessment? What went well? I've explored multiple areas. What could be better? No clear next step commitment. Someone will follow up. We did not get top priority. But with that aside, that's why we haven't actually gone back in a long time. This is a call that we made actually last month, September 17, and we are building the solution today. And I am only doing this as an example. So I would say, great, let's build this. Do not think it's a prototype. It's actually much better than, much bigger than that. Assume this is an MVP, proof of value kind of thing. So I want you to give me phases. Do not include any code. I will be using these prompts in Lovable. So give me step by step phases that I should be building, starting from what are all the components that I should be including in this full blown dental CRM or dental system. And each and every solution that you're mentioning should be in the order of priority and address Andrew's clinical the challenges that his clinic is facing. So I like to use this voice to text transcription service. And now, as you can see, Claude is taking its time to finish. And now, full dental practice management system MVP build phases. When you say prototype, it will do a really simple job. That doesn't mean simple doesn't get you results. As you can see from Ed, he developed a demo app from optimal physician referrals using vibe coding, and it took him like 1 hour on a mobile when he's doing his when he's eating his steak. So you cannot go wrong with this. What I have here is much better and much deeper, right? Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So I will start with, we have all of these, right? I will now have to go to Lovable. And Lovable is a vibe coding platform that we are building, and all of these amazing prototypes in hours instead of weeks, which what used to take previously. And the most we were doing is Figma mockups, like UI UX wireframes. They were getting excited for that, but now this blows that out of water. So what should the first prompt be? Because I want to give the medical vibe for this application, and everything that we are building in phases should be a sidebar menu. So create a prompt for me that will use a futuristic font but a medical theme with glow animations, hover animations, and a sidebar with menu items of all the solutions that we are building. That is our first prompt. Okay, it is actually not done preparing this. And that's why sometimes I prefer to use Haiku when I need something raw, something that doesn't need much of a thinking power or whatnot. Right now, it gave me like 9 phases. Will I include all the 9 phases? Chances are no. I will do at max 5 or 6. All the previous people that I worked with, let's say for this MedSpa project or a Pathfinder consulting project, I knew their team was 28 and they can afford that. And I knew this person who is building this med spa, their goal is to open 20 to 30 locations in the next 5 years by 2030. 20 to 30 locations. So anything that we are building is multiplied by 20 or 30. So I know going overboard or building these amazing solutions, these prototypes make sense for them, but may not make sense for a lot of other people. So the prompt itself is done. It is also giving me the follow-up prompt. You can read on a high level what this is doing, but most of the time it actually gave me everything I wanted. Modern dental management practice with a futuristic medical aesthetic. It gave me a theme, typography, visual effects, and then sidebar navigation. In the sidebar, it has AI solution section and clinical notes, virtual receptionist, patient engagement, review manager, content studio, right? All of this. And then I will use this prompt and add it in Lovable and hit enter. It takes some time. I don't want to narrate what's going on and everything. They launched a Shopify store recently, Shopify integration recently. So there is that. We'll be making more system videos moving forward. But for now, I don't want to narrate the whole thing. So I'll fast forward the whole build, which will take a good 3 to 4 minutes. To give you some context, at the end of the session, I will actually show you how many tokens this consumed. And you get like 100 messages or something for $25. So think of one message or five messages will be, or four messages will be $1. So if we have 20 messages, it would be like $4. You get the idea. So it actually created this, and we haven't asked it to create sign up, or maybe we did because it's the first prompt is always tricky if you don't read it from start to finish. But doesn't matter if we go to like role selection, because this is not actually connected to cloud or Superbase or anything. You can see we have four roles: dentist, owner, hygienist. So if you go to dentist, you can see the patient list, add new patient categories, calendar, schedule, and everything. So if you want something specific to this, you can voice recording, note templates, note history, right? AI solutions. And now this is where it gets interesting. It created a bare bones application which doesn't do anything but gives you this futuristic feel, but still have that medical vibe to it. It depends completely based on what their website is. For when you look at Atma, they were using this color theme, so I added this. And when I went to Pathfinder Consulting, their website was more like this blue theme where the font is not too futuristic. But this dental clinic, I wanted to try something different from what we tried previously. So you would know it doesn't have to be the same plain format that we do. Both of the other two were kind of light theme. I wanted to do one for dark theme. And now that we have this, I will actually scroll up, and from now on, I will add at least two phases and one, components to build, right? It has components to build automatically. Okay, it is actually phase one is where we start. Multi-role login, dentist, owner, hygienist, front desk admin, and then practice profile setup. And we have phase two, patient management core, components to build. Phase three, clinical documentation system. So what I would do here, I will take these two phases, and Lovable at the current state, it can easily handle two phases, but you can start with one. What I would do is I would just use my natural language to say, I want to use or build these two phases. Let's make a plan to achieve that. So you say that and paste the prompt and use the chat mode. Okay. So it will understand this is an instruction and generated by AI. So you can ignore these additional things. It won't confuse AI one bit. It will create a plan that will, implement all of this. So if you look at patient management core, I don't want to go into these detail, but this is more like how to quickly prototype and everything. So I will use chat mode. And the thing with chat mode, people already complain money Lovable is expensive. Now, what you're saying is you want to make AI come up with a plan and then implement the plan. Is it not twice the number of tokens or twice the effort, twice the charge? Lovable is already expensive as is. Why do I want to do that? Because that's a difference between me and other people, I guess. Because I'm doing it, I am saving, I'm not saving tokens on the front end, but I will reduce number of errors. You cannot imagine the number of times the instruction that I give and what AI understands is a completely different thing. Now imagine when you are implementing this plan in any planet, in any world, do you feel like can you come up with all of these things, all of these instructions by yourself? Of course not. And most people are still only using the chat functionality when they are stuck. Even Lovable says if you are stuck, use chat mode. But what I personally found is when you use the chat mode every single time, you can build some of the complex applications that you never thought were possible. And that's what I'm seeing every single day. And this is maybe the one time that I will speak through everything as this is um, being generated, because after that, usually I don't have anything else. I will just speak when I'm entering the prompt and fast forward the whole thing and show you after each component is generated. From now, it is almost like rinse and repeat kind of thing, where you select a topic, you select a phase, you ask it to implement, and then it creates a plan for you to implement, and you go ahead and implement. And this is something you day two. Patient set up Lovable Cloud, create database schema for phase two table, set up row level security. So a bunch of things. I will success metrics. Wow, this is IM. Do you already have API key? Okay. Right now we got a bunch of things. What I would additionally do instead is, okay, add new patient from okay. This right now, this is considering this like an MVP. Um, let's use mock data wherever possible, and focus on only implementing the AI solutions. When we say that, you can expedite this process by a lot. Instead of using 100, instead of using these 2 hours, I was supposed to say 100 minutes or something. Instead of that 2 hours, you can do it under like 30 minutes or so. And that is the difference between using actual AI features or using mock data. Okay. I want to show you how it would work if we implement patient management or clinical notes. Right now, we have patient engagement, okay, patient management. Do you have API key? Okay, let's review the plan a little bit. Patients, appointment, contact history, patient flags. Okay, phase 3 is what I want to implement, clinical notes, because I don't care about the second phase. And from now on, I will carefully read what this does. Patient management core. This is recall due indicator, and everything is, I think it's still relevant. And the miscommunication happened, or the instruction that we've given where we said this is not a prototype but an MVP. MVP is an actual thing where people would buy, buy once they buy projects. That's when it becomes an MVP, minimum viable product that you're building. So I wanted to do a bit more than what's needed. Um, it doesn't matter. I will show you. It works all the same. Now I am enabling cloud. Lovable Cloud will cost you some money, not too much. Superbase will actually charge you like $10 a month for this. Lovable is only charging like $1 or something. Is now enabled. I'll create phase 3 database schema and start building clinical documentation system, because clinical documentation system is what the client asked for as the first solution. And I will start speaking again once we are done with that. One more thing I realized when I was waiting, sometimes this modified database should turn solid white in color for you to allow it. But sometimes when you open it, this is not generating. And that will happen sometimes. So I will refresh the page. And once I do that, it usually turns to done. And this is now solid white, as you can see. And once you allow it, there is a good chance that, if it's the second time, third time you're allowing the database, it might fail. But whenever it fails, it will try and do it again on its own. Okay, it finished implementing the plan. And if we go to the role selection, and maybe select the admin, and we'll see clinical notes, voice recording, note templates, note history. Okay, patient list, nothing much. So I was wondering where it did all these updates. So I would ask, or I would see, did it create any applications? No, it did not. Let's implement both phase 2 and 3, but using mock data. I want to finish this as soon as possible. This is a prototype, not a full-blown application. Keep that in mind when coming up with new plans. If it's simple AI implementation and simple database additions, we can implement, but not any complex integrations. So now it will make me a new plan. Right now, after the database is enabled, once we run these migration files, it actually stopped doing um, start building the actual apps for code for clinical notes, I believe. That's why it was quick. Now what we are asking is, we are asking, instead of MVP, I want to pivot to rapid prototype approach using mock data. That's what we are essentially doing with these other applications. But when I was doing this, I got carried away because I was working on another application that I signed an NDA for, um, which I was trying to do it in an MVP route, and I was using the same structure here. But as long as you say this is a rapid prototype, it will get it and use mock data instead of regular or the usual API integrations. Before I implement the plan, I wanted to show you what we are not building. Already we added this, but it doesn't matter. Real AI API calls, real authentication, and now we are adding this. And it also gives you future enhancement path post prototype. And I find this so funny always. It says hour 1 do this, hour 2 do this, hour 3 do this, and it takes 4 to 6 hours. But in reality, it takes 4 to 6 minutes. Because the AI models are generating this, would assume that if a real person were to actually build that, that is the time it takes. I will speak again once this is done. While we are waiting for that to finish, I am copying phase 4 and phase 5, and I will paste this in the chat and be ready. Actually, sometimes you will receive an error. Once you throw an error, we will fix it. But I want to be ready when this is done. I want to implement the next 2 phases of the plan, again using our rapid prototype approach and mock data. Let's create a plan for this. And one thing you need to keep in mind when building these prototypes is you can quickly get carried away trying to add AI features. Unless you know that this client is absolutely buy from you, I won't go as far. You can stick with regular mock data. But for all of these 3 prototypes that I sent, I added at least 1 or 2 AI features. I showed them database capabilities, how you can save the client data and everything. So you can, if you know based on how warm or cold or hot they are, you can do it by project or lead by lead basis, case by case basis. So it's finally done after close to 4 or 5 minutes. And we can see the patient list. Okay, it is unsuccessful. I don't think update routing was done. So when I have that, I will do something like this. I don't think the routing has been updated. And some of the errors needs fixing, and yes, I would like you to continue and finish the remaining pieces. Some of the errors need, I won't use chat because this is a direct question, and from this interaction I know that there are some pieces need to be done. And one quick observation from this is these phases are incredibly detailed, and it is taking a lot longer than what we initially expected. So we now have about two options. In total, we have 12 phases. We can go ahead, go overboard, and build these 12 phases. But for me, I've seen best results when I do it on a, you know, at least the high priority ones need to be covered. And depending on, again, I'm going back to my initial how cold, warm, or hot, and how interested, how big the need is, and everything. Because if you look at, there is a reason why we have not reached out to this particular client in all these months, right? Not all these months, it's been 4 weeks or something. They're still in contact, but he has a hard time visualizing what this solution might look like for them. And we thought this is a good approach. And the reason, one of the reasons we haven't gotten in, made this, even though by the time we started doing this approach, we could have shared the same thing with him. But the thing is, they had fundamental issues in the sense of they're struggling with lead gen, consistent leads coming in. So if they are so focused on fixing the lead gen issue, they don't have time for AI. At least that's what we thought at the time. And we did not give the attention that this deserves. And this is our attempt to revive and also educate you on building these prototypes. I wanted to make this worth it. And as you can see, it might throw an error again, fix routing and build errors. Let's refresh and go to login screen. The preview is not loading. And Murphy's laws, what can go wrong will probably go wrong, is true here. Of all the prototypes that I built so far, this is probably only the second time that I faced issues in this beginning stage of the project, which is good. Will give you insight into how to fix it. So I would ask, preview is not loading. Investigate and make a plan how to fix it. Again, remove the friction in terms of login and everything to make things a lot easier. Sign in with mock data and everything. So I don't want to add this in right now. Make a plan how to fix it, because this will again start a plan which is incredibly long, will take just as long to write the code itself. Now, the thing with Lovable and why I like this more than Bolt is it has access to basically everything. It has access to the database, the cloud, it can see the logs, it can see the console, it can see the database logs. This was huge when they were using Superbase, but now every example, Bolt is using their own cloud, which is a Superbase wrapper. Bolt Cloud, Lovable Cloud, all of these are have Superbase underneath anyway. But before that, Bolt used to say, "Can you go to your console log and search for what's showing up, paste the error here," or it would say, "Go to Superbase, check this, and tell me what." The screenshot shows a complete blank page with no content. Error is preventing root cause. This is likely causing this. So it will create a plan why this white screen is actually being caused. And then it will identify root causes. And now it is giving me a plan to fix it. So given this error and throwing off all these errors, I would probably say we don't really have enough time to build all the 12 phases, which would be too much. I will see what the high priority solutions are. And at maximum review management system, AI video content generator, those two, those are the ones with stars. I will implement those. And then phase eight and everything, we can just, if you want, you can follow the process and everything. Okay. Now I will implement the plan and fast forward the execution. We finally managed to fix the errors, and then we, as always, use the chat mode. And while it makes its plan, we can view what it's done, right? If we go to patients, patient list is now exists. It has appointments, clinical notes, communications, and we have add new patient and patient categories. These, they haven't made it, but that's okay because this is a prototype. You can if you want. And if you go to the calendar, it also created some calendar events, view patient, record note. You can do like a quick voice record that they're using. Remember, this is what they said they have issues with. And now it is saying hello while visiting. Okay, is it actually recording? Visiting. Okay, is it actually recording? Well, this is amazing. Now we can use that apparently. And we have, what else do we have? We can add clinical notes. And I think it's appointment, and we record note. We can view patient and appointments coming soon, availability coming soon. So you can build on top of that. Clinical notes, we have voice recording, note templates, root canal treatment. If you use these templates, okay, this is anyway mock data. That's why it's just showing. And note history, John Smith, and note transcription. This is what we performed, and scaling method, formatted preview. This note has been signed as now read only. Perfect. I mean, this is what exactly they want to see. And if you want to add any AI features to this, you can say, hey, I want to add AI features to voice recording, and can we integrate Google Gemini? So that is like the phase two. And maybe once we implement all of this, once we have some time, we can implement um, at the completion, user should be having receptionist engagement integration. Perfect. And now I think it's almost done. It will give us the button and start with day 1 to 2 foundation receptionist score. Maybe this is an overkill. We are asking 2 phases one time. I think it's overwhelming the system, the dental OSAI. And last time it gave us some errors as well. So when you are facing those kind of errors, what has helped me in the past is just taking a back step and really saying, okay, this doesn't seem to be working. What can I do now? And 9 out of 10 times it is breaking your instruction, breaking these phases into smaller parts. Sometimes I go as far as implementing phase 1 in 2 parts. And how does it look like? When we initially added the prompt, it said implement phase 2, implement phase 3 in 2 different steps. You've seen that, right? But if it feels like the plan is simple and can be implemented in one big chunk, it would just display one saying implement the plan. But if it feels like the plan is too big and it is a chance for throwing an error at the end, it will give this. So if we go back, we talked about once with the stars, right? I will copy these 2 phases, which is video content generator and review management system. And I will copy these 2 and I will say, I want to also build these 2 components using mock data and rapid prototype approach. Let's make a plan to implement this. So now every feature that they asked for, that they say is important and want a solution for, we are building it. And the key here is to understand this is not a final product by any means, not even close. Um, this is important. And I want to really drive this home while we wait for this execution to be done. There is actually a term for this. They're calling this vibe waiting, which is funny, which does involve a lot of time. So whenever I say this prototype system to one of my consulting clients or someone that I'm working with, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what you should do too. And I will get three big objections. The first one is, what if my client think this is the final solution and you know they get excited but they don't call me, or they think this is so easy to implement, this works backwards. I have faced this kind of issue before. You absolutely have to mention this to the client, saying this is only 10% of the solution, final solution. This is the only UI UX component of 100% of application. If we take it, this is nothing more than a screenshot. Currently doesn't do anything. We have to, all the work starts if you say yes. This is only for your reference, only for you to realize I understood your vision and this is what it will look like. So imagine they're talking to 3, 4, 5 different people and they all come in with their own proposals, their own PDFs, their own videos at max. So if all of these people are sending PDFs and emails and you came in with your video, with your flashy demo, with your flashy prototype, who would they pick? But the thing is, you need to absolutely mention that is only 10% of the application. That is the first objection. And what is the second objection? Money. What if I spend all of this time, all of this effort, and do not close a deal, and they don't go through, and the deal doesn't go through? And this is such a great question. Imagine you are only spending like $5 per each demo and maybe 2 hours. And that is way more than what you were spending previously on proposal. Now we are showing you how to run prompts to create proposals and build these prototypes. And if you convert, and if they convert anything close to what they are converting for us, you will make a bank. There is no question about it. It's a simple math. If you think about, let's say, the old way of closing gives you 30% close rate, which is 3 deals of 10. The new way you will get 80%, 8 out of 10. And the average deal size, if it's say 10K, and that is a $50,000 extra revenue for you, because these, at a very minimum, these systems will cost 10K. And the cost per prototype is like what at max it would take $5 or $10. Imagine that $50, and you are spending all of these with $50 and 20 hours. You are making an extra $50,000. This is such a no brainer, in my opinion. And that is the problem too. And third thing is the biggest objection and why we are doing this whole thing. What if I screw up? What if I am not technical enough? I don't know how. That's why you are using AI. You are using AI to chat with it and you find out the answer. You find out what it did well, what it did, what it screwed up, and everything in between. So, virtual receptionist, we have call dashboard. After our call receptionist is online, you can simulate calls, new patient booking, and you can. This is an actual call transcript, is what We are simulating and showing this is how our assistant will perform. It will check calendar availability. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Perfect. I booked you for appointment successfully created and successfully handed new booking scenario. And we can simulate existing patient reschedule, emergency call, general question. So different call simulator and what happened today, this week, this month, every single thing, all calls, after hour calls, business hour calls, emergency calls, all of them listed. And after our settings and call history, you can build this, like you can do simple representation of these um, solutions if you want. You can just say right now clinical notes is completely full. But for virtual receptionist, after our settings and call history is a bit empty. I want to implement something in there. Can you add? Can you make a plan to add few things in there? So again, it's by case. You should be doing this. You should not be doing things without thinking through. And I will give you one example on how I would include and take these prototypes to next level using AI features to really bring this home. Because the first thing that they were asking us, or if they say this is the biggest problem, you try and wow them for that feature with that feature, right? Because the chances of them buying from you will exponentially go up if you just do that one thing. If you do a really great job by, right now it's doing a mock video player, video generation, I truly believe we should have split the phases, phase 7 and 8. And I think the plan will be too big and it will ask us to only implement one. I mean, this will give us an option to run or implement both of them simultaneously, but I don't think it would work because just given the sheer amount of plan that I read, if it just has to implement all of this, it will fail. There is no doubt or question in my mind. Oh, perfect. Okay. Let's start with day 1 and 2. The thing is, when you run day 1 and 2, it is only review system foundation, review dashboard complete. Google reviews and templates is gone. Review settings and indication gone. Video content creation gone. So when this happens, I want to copy this and show you something like this. Implement phase 6, 7, days 3 to 5. And I will keep this to show you there are multiple ways AI will adjust the plan. And if you are not paying attention, I think previous step also we did something similar to this one. The plan is huge and we only ended up implementing a part of what we needed. I also want to build these and it gave me all of this prompt, right? And then if I go to my message, wow, this is big. Okay. Did I have the message there? Let's see. Okay. I don't see it. If I scroll down, file structure, summary, it's hard to find, simple message on when you have this big of a content. And right now, instead of 8 days of implementation, it is only doing 2 days of implementation. That's why our pages are coming back empty. And the more work needs to be done. If you are wondering why your prototype doesn't look complete, that is what's happening. And if I ask to create a plan of everything that we skipped to implement, it will be a really big and long prompt. And I don't want to implement everything. You know how to implement if it only gives you a part of the plan. And I will show only that one. and go to the next step. So it finally finished implementing that. If I open patient engagement recall campaigns, it did not finish this because I think it's connected to this one. Review, Google Reviews, Content Studio Hub. Okay, it's not done yet. And I would say make sure you update routing so they can be accessed from the side menu. Applies for day 1 to generation as well. So I don't need a plan because I know what day 3 to, or AI knows what day 3 to 5 plan will look like. So minimal instruction is okay. While it finishes this, I want to show you how this came about and why this is so powerful and who does this apply the best for. First, if this applies for people who are selling over $5,000 and anything less than 5,000 doesn't make sense, or anything less than 10,000 doesn't make sense of the investment, because if it's less than 5,000 or 10,000, it would just be chatbot, voice assistant, or a combination of these two. That which you can easily show a video of you testing that. That's way more than enough. But this is for projects 10,000 and above. Only then, and if you feel like this client has the need and in a position that he says, at least they mention their budget is around 5,000 or 5,000 to 10,000, you can send this out. And we successfully closed people who came in at 5,000 to 10,000 range and bought 20,000 from us. We had clients like those. So it's never what they entered, it's about how much value you're giving them at the end of the day. And how this process came about is I've been recording my calls. If you look at the date, it's end of August, let's say last September. Even though I have been using Fathom before, I only started recording at that point. And you can see when I search discovery, I get about 350 results. But in reality, I may have had 100 calls or more. So I analyzed and I recorded more than 50 of those. And of those 50 calls that I had recently, I've reviewed every single one of them. And the most of them didn't go through because I was asking some of the really bad questions that you can. So, what does a bad discovery call look like, and what does a good discovery call would look like? A bad discovery call will ask you all kinds of stupid questions. I wouldn't say stupid questions because I was doing that for more than half of my calls. I would ask them, what are you struggling with? How soon you want this, or how much are you willing to invest in this? Or I would say, if you were to fix anything in your process using AI, what it would be. These questions may sound okay on the surface, but it was actually working bad. People would look at you like an amateur. But when you have this good discovery plan, what is your customer acquisition cost? What is their lifetime value? How many leads are you getting from each source? And the beauty of this system is, if they are in MedSpa, you will get a set of questions. If they are in real estate, you will get a different set of questions, different hypotheses, different problems, different processes and systems entirely. So, depending on what system they are, depending on what industry vertical they are in, you get a completely different set of questions. And we make sure we won't overwhelm them. We only ask 6 to 9 questions, which will be way more enough for you to build these prototypes or build these um, proposals, send out a really good proposal. And it said I've implemented feedback system. And if we look at that view, okay, I would say something along the lines of, in phases 4 and 5, we haven't implemented certain days for patient engagement. Let's implement those. I will say that just so we have the full solution for everything. So, David Thompson, this feedback review responses rate, positive responses, negative responses. We say we have a system that will help them get more reviews. And if they give a 5-star review, they will go to their Google. But if they give a 4-star review or lower, any negative reviews, they go to their website. So this is the feedback that we said we were going to implement. And we can remind them using different channels, using phone numbers, using SMS and everything. This is Google reviews under one place, and you can open Google and you can, for every person who um, answers or gives you a review, you can comment on that using AI responses. What do you want to do? Warm and professional or warm and friendly? Generate AI responses. Hi, Christopher. Thank you so much for wonderful review. We're thrilled to, post a review, and it's automatically um, posted. And we have some responses that are templated, which have available merge fields. This is an enthusiastic tone. Thank you. And that you can load automatically and send it. Settings. I know this looks like something that is generic, but feedback collection. Enable feedback requests on days after appointment. Let's say 24 hours after the appointment, we say default feedback message. This is how it goes. And then we can add AI callers as well to this, so they can call instead of just message. And that's what you would say. And video library, you can see it added mock process for teeth cleaning process that they can use, teeth whitening that they can use. And this is what they asked: AI generated video content. So we can build an AI avatar using, we have ton of applications like HeyGen, Synthesia. So all of these we can use their API to create something like this. And AI UGC like Nano Banana, we can, that's for image generation, right? Using Nano Banana and Google VO3, let's say, and created a video generating platform for them, a complete thing from scratch. And as you've seen, it loaded, right? So if you look at patient engagement, it must have created this patient engagement and recall, which is an amazing solution for dental clinics, which we have uh, built previously. We can show the number of attempts that we did for this person, and also recall type cleaning. They came in for cleaning last time, and we have to do a maintenance. And this is a dynamic voice assistant where we use, hey John, you came in for cleaning on last visit date, which is 2 months ago, and you are due for another cleaning session in a week. Do you want me to schedule something? And January cleaning recalls, overdue patient reactivation, appointment confirmations for week this. So everything, you can create recall campaigns, activation campaigns, custom campaigns, and then set target audience, select patient list according to tags. You can create messages and channels. Is it voice? Is it text? Is it email? And you will schedule it, you review and launch. And that is like a money maker right there. And everything that we discussed in that call is essentially available in this application. And I don't want to go into too detail. So for example, if I want to, let's say, we have what patient engagement, recall campaigns, reactivation. So if you, for any reason, want to add AI features in one of this, let's say, think of this like a bonus that we are doing. I want to add some AI features, demonstrate some AI capabilities in the reactivation page under patient engagement. What can we do that can wow the patient, wow the my prospective client, since this is a prototype. Um, if it makes sense, use Google Gemini to actual AI features. Make a plan to implement this. So all of a sudden, we are using actual AI features in order to wow the client. And if you have, some time, energy to spare towards this, you can basically add AI features in any category that you choose, any sub menu item that you pick, you can add all of that. And AI powered reactivation dashboard, Vision Wow AI feature, create a truly intelligent patient reactivation system. Now, this is how I've been using some of the AI messages to, in the ones that I've signed NDA for, I cannot show you, but I have AI features all around. And probably in the near future, I will do a similar one for a different industry, because once I start creating content, I will be making more systems based content. You will see how I would use on all of that. So, what I really love about Lovable is that it creates these detailed plans. I think it's either Cloud Code or Cloud 4.5 Sonnet, which both of them are really, really chatty for some reason, just like me. I will fast forward the generation and I will implement the plan and show you the finished product. Now, I don't see any days, which is a good sign. I will implement the plan. While we wait for this to finish, I just want to add, if you want to see or get access to the videos, the Loom videos that I recorded, in addition to these applications, you and if you want to get access to the applications that I already built for MedSpa and also what I did for consulting firm and dental clinic, you can join my school group. You can get all of this for free. And if you want the discovery call framework, because this is only 50% of the building part is 50%. The other 50% is actually knowing the exact framework, the discovery to close framework, which we use with every single client that before we jump on these discovery calls. I break down the whole process on November 9th webinar. Once you are getting the resources, you will be subscribed to our email list and you should be able to see all of that. Okay. I will refresh now that it's done. I will see if, okay, but patient engagement and reactivation, nothing is there. If we go to dashboard, okay, which is reactivation.tsx, there is, sometimes it happens because the reactivation page is still displaying coming soon. Did we update routing? Please do if we haven't. And did we update the routing? So sometimes routing is not updated automatically. The AI will create all of this and nothing is actually pointing to that file. Let me check, update the routing. I can see the issue, engagement reactivation route is missing. So it's failing to the wildcard engagement star route, which shows coming soon. Let me add it. Now that it added, it is an actual AI feature. So we have no visit in 6 months, visit in, the more we add, the more we go, we opening the patient AI analysis for Sarah. It's analyzing, and we can generating message personalized for Sarah. She came in like 245 days ago. And if this works, it will give us a bunch of responses using AI. So if we say this is supposed to work, maybe if I ran out of my AI credits, that's a different story. I can top up. Um, but right now, I have no way of telling. I believe if I go to settings, if I go, so we have sent like 22 messages. And if we go, I want to hide lovable badge always. And if you go to cloud and AI balance, okay, I have some AI balance left, so it shouldn't be the case. Run AI analysis, it is analyzing and now processing 10 domains. Now it says higher risk, offer a special discount on their next cleaning, follow up on their option. This is the recommended strategy, offer a special discount. So every person will get their own analysis, warm and caring, or value focused generate message, now generating with AI. Hi Sarah, it's been 245 days since your last visit. This is this is mind blowing in my opinion. And this is only one feature to wow the patient, the clinic owner or your prospective clients. Imagine instead of rushing like me in trying to do this in 30 minutes, you have 2 hours instead. You can implement these AI features throughout the board, and it will impress these clients all the more. Comment in the chat. Do you think this is impressive? Incentive, you know, I haven't lifted a finger. I just said I need to wow my patient. Use Google Gemini. What you can do, this is what it did. And you can start smart campaign by creating a combination of text, a combination of AI offer incentive. Michael Chen, I moved to another city, marked as non-patient. Jennifer Lopez, you've been meaning to schedule. Can I book next week? AI action. So this is mock data, obviously, but you can see live patient responses of people who are responding and what AI is doing for them. Imagine building this futuristic tool for your dental clinic, for your prospective client that is a dental clinic. If you're a dental clinic, that's even great. Book a call so we can implement something like this for you. And if you have to share this, I wouldn't recommend sharing it publicly. It's Dental OSA AI lovable.app doesn't look too good. So always add your own branding. How do you do that? You need to first publish this. You can update whatever you want to, change the title, description, and if you want to change the icon as well to something that you have. So for example, if you want to add in your own logo, right, you can do that. New folder with items, logo too, and we've been you can add that, and now we we deployed this, and there are two warnings. This is just a prototype. You don't have to worry too much about cybersecurity. Connect domain, and this is one of the easiest things that you can do. Dental dot vertical systems dot io, and continue, and it will ask you for your login. So wherever your DNS provider is, for me, it's in Namecheap. And when I enter the email, the username and password, I don't know why it's not filling the password automatically for some reason. Paste, continue. It will give me a code, and once I paste that code, it will automatically, it will take few minutes to propagate or whatnot, but it will be done. It is quick, no more than 10 minutes. But when sharing with clients, always use your own logo and your own branding. Don't let them feel like you've used some vibe coded application. It's nothing wrong with it or anything, but it's just some people may not like it. So let's see our full application in action. I think it will see a login page. Sometimes it will just use money at test.ai, AQ or something. 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't matter, but this is mock data. Since cloud is enabled, you can actually make this a proper login. Once we go to admin, you see patients, patient list, new patient. So when you're doing this, you need to add your loom, obviously. And when you add your loom, you need to speak to them, obviously, something along the lines of, "Hey, Andrew, I see you um, mentioned a bunch of solutions. We need to retake that, obviously. I will click this, restart recording. That's why it's really important that you script. Hey, Andrew, thank you for taking the call the other week. We have prepared a prototype. Mind you, this is only 10% of what we can build. This is more to do with UI UX than anything, showing you what potential solutions could look like. This is only 10% of what we can do. And I need to also mention everything that you're seeing is mock data. And with your inputs, your connections, we can do so much more. And some of these solutions are solving everything that you mentioned, that your current issues are, that you are facing. We have prepared this amazing feature, this amazing feature. You talk about the whole thing, right? I will stop this because I'm not going to send this. And if you want to get access to what I have been doing for my clients, the videos, the emails, and everything, you can find them below in the first link in the description. That is how you would build prototypes using Lovable really quick in an hour or two. That's how we managed to bring our close rate from 30% to 80%. And I will see you on the next one.